Let us speak about the 8 portal for twin flames and what the energy of this portal is for twin flames specifically. So, this time round, the 8 portal is very potent when it comes to empowering the solar plexus of the divine feminine. So, this has to do with she realizing who she is and not finding any fault with her, but learning to come into her power. And coming into the divine feminine's power also means that releasing the egoic self, which acts in self defensiveness. What the egoic self does is that the egoic self will think that if I appear to be more powerful than other people, if I exert my will on others, then I am powerful. If somebody else thinks I am important or I am beautiful, then I am powerful. So the egoic self is extremely insecure deep down and is hiding that insecurity, but all the actions are coming from that insecurity. The egoic self is about comparison of one with the other, that I compare myself to someone else. Am I prettier than this person? Am I smarter than this person? Am I more spiritual than this person? Spiritual ego also is very important to address and to be aware of and be careful of. So, this part of the divine feminine is being thrown light upon on the 8 portal, and not just on the date, because the portal energies have started about 10 odd days or so prior to the portal, and you will see that the intensity will be very high around the 7th, the 8th, the 9th, 10th, around these energies, around these dates, maybe even the 6th. The energies will be very potent, very powerful for the divine feminine. And slowly, then the energies, start to come down. So, this means that this portal basically represents passing through a gateway of coming into your true power, the power which is not the power of the ego, but the power of the soul. And what is the power of the soul? The power of the soul is, it just is. The soul is just there, it is present. When you are in alignment with the soul, you are not a being of the mind. And I do wish to share a very detailed, very long video on this, on what is higher consciousness, how it's separate from the lower consciousness. And I will be detailing this, in perhaps a mini workshop video or something like that on Patreon. But essentially, the point is that the soul is just there. The soul has no agenda, because all the agendas and all the desires and all the thoughts and all the the push and the pull and all the instincts, they belong to the mind and they belong to the body, but they don't have anything to do with the soul. And one more thing is that the soul is really infinite, and the soul has it really has no power issues. It doesn't have any desire to assert itself, or it's not even affected by somebody else's control over you. Anything that you are experiencing with other people in your life, in terms of interactions of the physical, in terms of communication, in terms of saying something, receiving something, etc., they are largely happening at the level of the ego. They are not happening at the level of the soul. Communion, which happens at the level of the soul, happens with the divine energies. And this can happen in powerful places, this can happen in devotion, this can happen in nature, and this is happening with your twin flame as well, because your twin flame is also your soul in another polarity. And many divine feminines through the 8 portal will be releasing this power dynamic aspect of their egoic self. Many will be coming into their power, many will stop justifying themselves to other people, many will start to recognize that she doesn't have to justify her existence, that the seeking of approval that she was indulging in was because she didn't feel loved and accepted, and she gave her power away to somebody else, or her inability to say no even when she is uncomfortable, she doesn't want to upset the other person. So in her desire to not upset the other person, she ends up sacrificing herself, she ends up not saying no to somebody. When she wants to say no, her answer is very clear, but she's thinking, what if I upset this person, and then this person is going to behave in this way with me, and that's going to come back on me, or it's not safe for me to assert my no and just put it out there as no means no. So she learns this lesson during this portal energy. Many divine feminines are learning these lessons very powerfully, that your no is no, and that's okay. There is no fear. It's not your responsibility to coddle those who do not accept your no. And it's not your responsibility to teach to other people what it means to respect or appreciate boundaries. Anyway, the experiences that you may be having around this time are going to be about other people playing the role of a teacher by acting in, less than ideal ways. So she learns through these experiences that what her authentic self is trying to be like, and not compromise it. So it's important that the feminine recognizes this. When we say the 8-8 portal, many of you will be seeing the numbers 88, 888, 8888, which also signifies that there is going to be a great energy flow, which happens as the divine feminine purges her blocks between twin flames. So you may be feeling this energetic flow in the 5D, and many divine feminines will also be opening portals of abundance, knowing very well that abundance is not just about receiving abundance, it's also about giving abundance and sharing abundance. It's both energies, that open up for the feminine. So if you ever feel very frugal, or you feel very shy of spending money, you're like, you stay in the consciousness of lack, or the consciousness of poverty, or the consciousness of I will only do this much, I will only give this much, of lack of generosity in some sense. Even that has to be lifted out of your system. Like you should be generous with receiving and giving both. So many divine feminines, if this is what is an area which has been blocked for you, it will start to open up for you more and more. And remembering that if you are feeling generous in the way you give, it is also a sign of the awakened masculine energy within you and without. Okay. So, anyway, this is not something you can force yourself to do. If you don't feel generous, or you feel very frugal about money, then all of that is something that you can't kind of change it overnight. It will happen to you. The consciousness will rise one day for you to completely change the way you view money to be. Okay, and drop out the lack consciousness of not having enough and all that stuff. So this is that portal, because it's the 88 number, which has to do with abundance, it has to do with the flow. These are also the energies for many twin flames. There are also going to be the energies of establishing a flow of connection with the divine. And when you establish that connection with the divine, naturally the connection that the consciousness, the burden the consciousness is carrying about of the ego and of all that pain and all that triggered behavior is going to come down. So there will be greater awareness, which rises when the awareness of the divine, when you strengthen that part of you within, gets strengthened. So basically, this is all I wanted to speak about, that these are the 88 portal energies. Really, regarding the solar plexus, we also know this is the Leo season. So many of you may be seeing lions and lion imageries, in various places, in various forms, in various strange places. You could be seeing lions, in maybe in the form of some sculptures or some images or whatever it is, unknowingly. This is a little bit about that. You're coming into your lion power as the divine feminine, to really come into your power. And of course, lion with the whole mane and everything is a symbol of the masculine energy. But I just wanted to make this video for the feminine energy, like what the divine feminine is going through in this 8-8 portal is about coming into her power. It is about respecting herself. It is about knowing herself. It is about releasing self doubt and releasing fear based actions and taking her power back from everyone and everything and every place. It's about loving herself and just appreciating who she is, a divine blessing, for people around her, especially when she's awakened. The divine feminine becomes like a blessing for people who interact with her, because her generosity, her energy, her peace, her bliss, her love for everything and everyone uplifts everybody, right? So, this is your whole journey of becoming that person that you really are, of unraveling that consciousness within you. This is all I wanted to speak about today. I hope that this helped you. If you wish to work one on one with me, all that information is in the first link in the description box. You click on the first link and you see the types of sessions that are on there. I assist you with your journey, with your blocks, wherever you are stuck right now. You need any guidance, you need any support, you have questions, or you have blocks coming in from your childhood or the past or something like that, then I assist you with that. And you can also subscribe to my Patreon, where there are lots and lots of videos about various aspects of the journey. You can click on the second link and see the types of videos and subscribe. Sending you love.